Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 3 of the Abandoned Armoire project. Not sure I like that name. Could come up with something better. Abandoned because I found it essentially on the side of the road at a mini storage. So, last episode, you watched me tear it all down, and then I was going to start removing all the staples and then get ready for jointing and planing. Well, between last episode and now, I have pulled about 400 of these damn staples out of this wood um, using just my little hammer and a pair of pliers. I would just tap, 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 push the staple out and try to grab it, pinch it, pull it out. Monotonous. I don't know how many hours I spent doing that, but I just sat there. I just put a stack next to my chair and watched YouTube videos and pulled staples. So I haven't finished, but I have managed to get all of the staples out of all of the lap boarding. If you recall, in fact, you can see right here, this is the back of the top of the armoire, and this is the back of the bottom of the armoire. There are still some slats that covered the curved top. There are some slats that went in the very bottom. And then I wouldn't call them slats. They're a little thicker. They're like 1-bys that covered the middle section that divided the top from the bottom. Those are in some bad shape. We'll talk about those later on down the road. So anyway, now, today, moving forward, it's jointing and planing. So, let's talk about the jointer. This is my jointer. Its main focus, its main job, main function is to remove a very thin layer of wood from one side only to get that side nice and straight, and also 90 degrees from this wall here so that you get a nice, level 90-degree corner. You can then go to either your table saw or your planer and cut the other 90 degrees if that's what you're going for, and you wind up with a perfectly, square or rectangular piece of wood. There are 3 things that I've learned about this jointer that stick in my brain. It's about 25 years old. I looked it up, but it is phenomenal. I got it from my father-in-law, Ed, and went online, looked up some of the reviews about them. This is about one of the best ones you can have, other than a super expensive professional level jointer. So the 3 things: 1, it's very heavy, and there are no wheels. I looked it up. It's about 230 pounds, and the bulk of that is this solid steel, very straight plane surface. So moving it around is, concerted effort. Number 2, these little corners here are very pointy, and when you run into them with your big fat head, it doesn't move because it weighs 230 pounds. I was vacuuming earlier around, getting ready for this video, trying to clean up like I have a clean shop, fool you guys. And I came up and hit that corner, and I saw stars or canaries or something. It hurt, but I'm okay. I got a hard head. The 3rd thing, it does all this work. By the way, I've got it unplugged. It does all this work by this spinning razor blade, essentially. There are 3 blades on this spindle, and it spins at high RPMs and just shaves off. It also does that with fingers, as I learned on Meemaw's Table, episode 1, as a matter of fact. I had to go back and find it. So I've learned to respect this here jointer. So the problem I face today is this wood is, really thin. This is one of the slats from the back. And if you move a thin piece over this blade, it rattles, and boy, your hands are close to that blade, makes you nervous. So what I've done is I have created myself a special pushing jig. As you can see, I glued a little piece right there. That's going to hook on to the slat like that. And I have two handles where I can push it across. Learn my lesson. You know, it only takes me 3-4 times to get hurt to realize what the right way to do things should be. So here we go. This is my planer. Its function is just like the jointer. It has a spinning cylinder in there with 3 razor sharp blades. But in this case, it actually is cutting the top of the board rather than the bottom, the jointer. The jointer, you push over the rollers. This one, you slide it in, and as long as your bottom is straight, the top will cut parallel to that bottom, and you dial it up or down to the height that you want. Lock it in, turn it on, and off you go. So here we go. Okay, so the back is now completely jointed and planed. It's all flat. Most of the grime and gunk has been removed. I was shaving the jointer at 1/32 of an inch each pass. So I ran it twice for a 1/16 of an inch. And then the planer, I did the same thing. So I have thinned these boards out by about 1/8 of an inch. That's about as far as I want to go. They were pretty thin already. I'd say we're pushing a 1/4 inch, but they are perfectly flat. So from there, I will sand them, and then we'll figure out how to go back on reattaching them. I'm not going to staple them like they were. I think I can do a little bit better than that. But before we get there, I still have all the staples to remove from all the rest of the boards, and I need to get those all dimensionally correct. So stick around, more to come. Catch you next time.